Welcome to the Unapologetic Podcast with Kaitlyn Talamonte, hosted by LadyBoss. This is a space where women rise, own their power, and stop playing small. We get real, we get raw, and we get fired up about confidence, health, business, and life. If you're ready to step into who God made you to be and unapologetically live your best life, then girl, you are in the right place. Let's do this.
This is what unapologetic looks like.
This is my era. I'm walking boldly in my purpose. I'm done dimming my light.
I'm done playing small. God didn't create me to blend in. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. The old me was surviving. The new me is free.
We rise together.
Here's to living life unapologetically. Hey ladies, today's episode I am so excited about. We are going to get raw and real and down and dirty and open and honest about all the tools for weight loss out there. You ladies know how much I love a transformation story, and not the quick fix kind, but the kind that changes who you are from the inside out. Our guest today, Miss Patsy James, is living proof that lasting transformation is possible. Nearly 30 years ago, she released over 120 pounds, and she's kept it off ever since. Like, what? But what I love the most is that her story isn't just about weight loss. It's about faith, freedom, and finding peace with your body and your life. Patsy is a national board certified health and wellness coach who walks beside others through what she calls the graceful transformations. And today she's here to share her wisdom, her hope, and some powerful truth for anyone who feels like lasting change just isn't possible for that. See, I'm so excited. We've been planning this episode for the last 3 or 4 weeks now. I'm so excited. We're getting to film it and it's coming out to the public. How are you doing?
I'm so excited. Oh my God, I have chills. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. When I met you, I was drawn to you. I felt a kindred sisterhood with you. We have the same goals and we are in alignment with health and wellness. And I am just so excited to be here. So thank you for having me on today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So I'm just going to dive right in. I've told the audience that we're going to dive in all sorts of things, but I want to get raw and real. As you know, I've told you this is how I want it to go. I've had this whole vision in my head because I've had this episode planned. I just didn't have the right collaboration. And now I've got you, Patsy, and it's going to happen. So can you start off by telling the audience your story? How did you lose the 120 pounds?
Okay. How did I lose over 100? How did I release?
How'd you release?
Over 120 pounds.
It.
Let's release it. Let's get this baggage off of us and let's not ever have it in our lives again. Early years of my life was great. Things were going well. As I hit my 20s with my health and wellness, when I hit my 20s, I realized that the way I was living wasn't normal, I guess you could say. I noticed that my life was very different. When it comes down to, I was being raised in a very controlled, fear-based environment. And that was a huge awakening for me, realizing that, I'm being controlled and I am not able to have the freedom to be me or the best version of me. And this was all built around fear and shame. And so I'm in my 20s. I realized this. I got married very, very, very young. I was heavily encouraged to marry in this fear-based environment. So I basically kind of woke up in my 20s. I was like, what is going on here? So I did this crazy thing of leaving that safe environment. I thought it was safe. I had no education, no real path in life. Basically, what I was trained to do is be a wife and a mom, which is a beautiful thing to be. But there was so much more for me that I was being shielded from. So I left that environment. I was shunned horribly by everything that I'd ever known in my entire life. To give you an example of the fear, say like this bone is showing right now, that I was told that if I did that, there would be a severe consequence that would last for eternity. I have makeup on. That was also something that was not allowed. And if I did sneak any makeup or even be thinking about lip gloss, that there would be a severe eternal consequence that sounded horrible. And yeah, so that's the environment that I grew up in. If that kind of, I'm trying to be discreet, but I'm also trying to let you know.
If you want to rip the Band-Aid off, you can rip the Band-Aid off. It's completely up to you. So
Yeah, I've never really said this publicly, but I grew up in a religious cult. I was born into it. Uh, Severely controlled, a lot of fear, and just a lot of fear and shame. And everything I did was wrong. So, with that said, as I got into my 20s, I realized that maybe that wasn't the way I was supposed to live. Maybe if I did happen to wear lip gloss or cut my hair or even look at a TV screen, I won't burn in hell forever. Maybe I've been told a lie. I don't know. I've been taught this my whole entire life. My whole family, my whole family was involved in it. They, in fact, started the one that we were in. It was on national news for a while. I remember looking up off the property and seeing, all these big vans with the TV things on top staring at us. They couldn't come on our property, but they were filming us, and we all looked like prairie children. It's just very crazy story, but I escaped that. And then I was literally like waiting tables at night, babysitting during the day to survive. And no one thought that I was going to survive. Here I am, this 4'11", tiny little blonde girl with no education, and nobody thought I could do it. And everyone in my life shunned me, wouldn't even talk to me, and was saying horrible things about me. I just said, forget it. I don't care what they're going to say. I don't care. I'm just not happy. Well, with all the trauma of all that, I put on weight. I packed it on. I was self-soothing. I would come home at night and, cry, eat a bag of cookies, whatever. Just going through this whole detox situation, I gained a ton of weight. And it was a huge lots of years of trauma. And as I detoxed from this situation. So I'm going along in life, and I realize, oh my gosh, I'm 4'11". I weigh 235 pounds, 35 pounds. I was literally round as I am tall. I would walk in the room and I would be scared, where am I going to sit? Are people looking at my weight? Are they judging me? Do they see my true heart and who I am as a person? Or are they just seeing this round girl walk in the door and not know, and I was like, like being judged, being looked at differently. And I knew that the girl with that weight wasn't who I really was and didn't reflect the woman that I am today. So we could go on and on about what it was like being 235 pounds at 4'11". I mean, just craziness. I was single at this point. Dating was a joke. I was attracting the wrong kind of person. It wasn't working for me. So what I literally did, Kaitlyn, was I just drew a line in the sand.
I'm done.
I was like, you know what? You are never going to be this weight again. You know what? This is not who you are. I have been living in shame and fear for years, and I refuse. I just got chills. I literally refuse to live in shame or fear ever again. I felt like I was bottled up and not able to be the woman that God made me to be. So I thought, well, I'm making this huge choice. I've got to make a huge, drastic decision, right? So this was back in the 90s. I'm 55 years old now, which is crazy, but I'll be honest about that too. I'll be robbing everything.
Incredible, Patsy.
Thank you. I'll be robbing everything. I'll tell you everything. So I literally thought, what can I do that's so drastic that's going to help me reach that goal? Because girl, I've done all the diets. I've done all of the craziness. I've tried everything, the cabbage diet, MetaFast, starving, binge. Weight Watchers, Ginny Craig, blah, 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 blah. Go down the list. I've tried it. I've done it. And what was happening, I was just getting heavier and heavier. I was getting more frustrated, more frustrated. So I walked into this surgeon's office and I'm like, hello, doctor. He looked at me. He saw how round I was. I was literally as round as I am tall. And, he looked at me and he actually listened to me. And he took time with me, the surgeon did. And I told him, I said, I am tired of this weight. I've tried everything. I want to release this and never have it torture me again. And he's like, okay, Patsy, you definitely would be a great candidate. You'd be a wonderful patient. I really want to do this for you. But here's the big but. You don't have enough money. You don't have, your insurance won't cover it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. No, you can't have it because of all these reasons. But I see something in you and I want to do this for you. And so he did it and he took what I had, which wasn't much. This man probably lost money. He probably paid his own personal money to provide me with this gastric bypass surgery that I had. So I had the surgery. So incredibly grateful for this surgeon. This is why I do what I do now, because of him. He saw something in me and I see something in you. There's something about you that I want to invest myself into as well, because we all have a gift to give. And if we're allowing these things tie us back, handcuff us,
Yes.
hold us back, prevent us from doing what we're truly meant to do. I want to be a part of that story too for you. Like he was part of his story for me. So had the surgery and I did everything wrong, Kaitlyn. Did everything wrong.
Wait, what?
Did everything wrong. I was, my goal was to not be 235 pounds when I turned 30. So here I am, 29 years old, had the surgery, and I got that scale. And back in those days, that's all we were taught to watch our progress was the scale, right? So I was glued to that thing. I was literally eating like half of an egg. Half of an egg. I was eating maybe 2 bites of yogurt. I remember craving chips, one of my go-tos. I remember licking the salt off it because I wanted to have that, but yet I didn't want to eat it. And I just watched that scale. It just went down. It was going from 235. I'll never forget when it was 199. I mean, that was a huge deal, right? Watching that scale go down, that's all I watched was a scale and just refused to eat. Refused. I was barely surviving. I would drink my water. I would have my half of an egg, maybe a piece of cheese. And I was just so excited. I was getting all this positive reinforcement. Wow, Patsy, you've lost weight. Wow, wow. And, while I'm losing weight, and even before I lost weight, before I released the weight, I had this story in my head. I don't know about you, Kaitlyn, but I had this story in my head that once I reach a certain number, and for me, that was 100, that the skies would part, the angels would sing, I would have the most amazing life ever. I would meet my Prince Charming, and I would have $1 million in the bank. Like my life would be wonderful. So that's what I thought. And everybody was reinforcing that by, wow, Patsy, how much weight have you lost? You look so good. Every time I see you, you look different. And it was just so exciting that time. Right. So I'm trucking along. I'm not eating. I'm losing weight. And then the day came, Kaitlyn, the big day. And do you want to know what that day was?
Yes, I do.
That was the morning that I got up and did my whole routine and making sure that I used the restroom. I'm not wearing anything. I hop on that scale and it said the magic 100.
And how did you feel?
Well, guess what happened?
What?
Nothing. The
Nope.
sky didn't part.
Nope. It is. I'm not to change your vision of anything, your reality.
Yeah, nothing happened. And I was like, okay, well, where's the confetti? Where's the $1 million in the bank? Where's the Prince Charming? Where's all the goodness, tons of friends? The truth is, Kaitlyn, I lost friends. I wasn't the funny fat girl anymore. I was a lot different. I was making bad choices. I was so obsessed with, releasing that weight honestly, to be honest with you, now that I'm talking, I did lose the weight. I didn't release it. I had to release it later.
Yep. I
I had to
understand.
release.
Well,
Yeah,
definitely
had to
we'll
release.
really connect on that part. I know where you're
Yeah,
going.
that just hit me. I've never put
Yes.
two and two together, but yeah, I
Very
hadn't
naturally,
released
so
it
you
yet.
did. You're chasing the number. You were losing it. You weren't releasing it yet. It's because it's still there
I
without it
just
being
got chills.
there.
I just got chills again.
Woo,
Yeah,
it's
I
very
lost it. I
solid.
didn't release it. So, the angels didn't sing, the confetti didn't fly, things didn't happen for me, but I happened to look at myself in the mirror and girl, I looked like a cancer victim. My hair had fallen out. I was saggy, baggy, gray, skinny, malnourished. I hadn't released anything. I just was so obsessed with that number. I lost the weight, but I was unhealthy and malnourished. And that, my friend Kaitlyn, is when the true work started.
I thank you for being so open and vulnerable in telling the story because I know I've been guilty of it. I know a lot of our listeners have probably been guilty of it where we chase that number thinking it's going to fix everything. And I want to touch on your gastric surgery for a little bit here because I want to make sure the audience hears this. The reason I am so excited about this conversation with you, Patsy, is okay, there's a million layers why I'm excited, but like I've wanted to have the conversation with the audience that is raw and real about the tools of weight loss. And in the beginning, you mentioned all the ones that you tried and didn't work for you, right? You opted for a gastric surgery, sleeve bypass, one of the two.
I had the bypass. Yeah.
And you lost the weight. You didn't release the weight. Now we've got the GLP-1s, we've got pills, we've got all sorts of tools. We got LadyBoss Lean. It's a tool. It's not a magic pill. And I want to make sure our audience hears this. And please, disagree or agree. I want to know your opinion, feedback. They're tools. They are not quick fixes. They are not solutions. They are tools. Are they not?
100%, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000%. I'm going to tell you something that may shock your pants off, my friend. I hope you're sitting down. A lot of people don't know this, but only 5%, 5%, I want that to sink in, of people who do the gastric bypass surgery keep the weight off. 5.
And I want everyone,
And
I hope this is sinking in for you ladies because it's not just gastric bypass. The GLP-1s, those lap band for a little bit there, wasn't there? Keto, Atkins, Weight Watchers, LadyBoss, Lean, 5%.
now this
Number
surgery I had is major. Like they literally cut your stomach out. And it's the size of an egg. And with the pain and the hospital stay and the recovery, it wasn't easy, very hard. And a lot of people judged me and said, "Oh, you took the easy way." No, that was not easy. Being in the hospital, barely able to move, they cut me straight down my belly, not across yeah, I still had that scar and I'm very proud of that scar. But that was a drastic, hard surgery. But, Kaitlyn, my mindset was at the point where I'll never, ever, ever want to be like this ever again because it's not who I am. Not only is it uncomfortable, you're not able to get on the airplane very well. You're not able to ride the rides. You're not able to fit into cute clothes. You're not able to exercise and hang out, go on hikes. Your life is definitely hampered by carrying extra weight. But then the health scare. I was in my 20s. I didn't want to be in my 30s and 40s and have knee issues, diabetes. I didn't want to die early. I wanted to be there for my son. And those are the things that I thought about, but I also just didn't want to suffer from the pain, the shame, and the fear that I've been carrying for so many years. So I took the gastric bypass and I was like, this is a tool and I'm never going to be this ever again. And that was the start of my journey of releasing the weight, the guilt, the shame, the fear, all the things.
So you picked your tool, which was the gastric surgery. That first, how long did it take you to hit 100 pounds?
Girl, 6 months.
Ouch. Yes. No wonder you look. Yep. I don't care what your tool is. That is way too much and way too short a time. But it sounds like you selected your tool, but you were so busy chasing that number that you were pretty close to being part of that 95% percentage that actually gained it all back. Were you not?
Absolutely, 100%. I was so focused on that number that I wasn't working on me. I wasn't working on releasing all
I want
the
to make sure
things.
everyone caught that. You weren't working on who? What?
I was not working on me. I wasn't releasing the things that were holding me back.
Yes. Yep. You weren't learning what your body needed, mind, body, and soul, how to properly nourish it, how to feed your mindset, how to pour into you. You were too busy chasing that number and quite honestly, just making yourself sick, right?
And yeah, I was malnourished. I mean, if I didn't hop on the bandwagon of, oh my goodness, what have I done to myself? And then start to nourish myself and not only nourish myself, Kaitlyn, love myself,
So
you know,
can I ask, what was that turning point? Like you hit the 100 pounds, the skies did not open up. You realized that you're falling apart because you've lost way too much weight and way too fast. What was that switch? It's like, something's got to change. This isn't okay.
that I realized in that moment of the skies not parting, the angels singing, the confetti wasn't flying all around me and people weren't bowing down. I realized at that moment that I have damaged myself and I have damaged my health. And now I'm never gonna weigh. And I set a number that I was never gonna go over. So I promised myself I would never go over that number. So for that to happen, I had to work on myself. I had to, number one, like you said, work on my nutrition and reverse all of the things I'd done to myself. And I knew that if I didn't, it would be worse than if I had not lost the weight. So,
Mm-hmm.
part of my why was I don't want to be my 30s, my 40s, my 50s. If I even made it to my 50s unhealthy, now it was like, oh my goodness, I'm malnourished. This is more serious. So I had to really change my mindset. But with that said, I also was never going to allow myself to be over a certain number ever again. And I have swung back and forth, but I've lowered that number because I set it pretty high. But I have never gone over the freak out number, I call it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've never Yeah, I've never gone over my freak out numbers. So now that I'm a national board health and wellness coach, I have so many clients. In fact, I looked back, Kaitlyn, I've helped over 50 people this year
that's awesome.
release their weight. And it's been such an amazing year. I'm so grateful. But yeah, so part of maintenance for me, and I've shared this with my clients and it's helped them, is to have a number that's a freak out number. Like I will never allow myself to go over 150. I'll just be silly. 150. And so that allowed myself grace as the years have gone on, life has ebbed and flowed. I've had really good years and then challenging years. I've let myself, come close to that freak out number but not ever over it. And as I've gotten better with my nutrition, my health, my wellness, my fitness, my mental health, my spirituality, as everything has gotten better into each level, then the next level, the next level, I've adjusted that number. And it's at a number now where I'm way below it. It's a lot lower than that initial number. And I feel like I now have truly done the release work. And I just got chills. That's where the real joy and accomplishment, I can celebrate myself now, my success, because not only have I lost weight, I've released the things that have been holding me back all these years.
So when it comes to a tool in weight loss, I've personally, I'm sure you have, had people reach out to you and they're like, how'd you lose the weight? Like, they're looking for you to give them a link to the magic. And I have people reach out all the time. I mean, I say all the time, like I've got the LadyBoss community. They know, those ladies know, they're working on it. But when I see people reach out, these are people I went to school with, people from my communities. And when I give them the book, which I've shrunken down a lot, of there's not a magic pill. It is working on how to fuel your body, how to pour into yourself. It's like they check out because ladies, we want instant gratification. We live in an instant gratification world. But what I want you to get from Patsy's story is no matter what your tool is, there isn't that instant gratification. There's still work that has to go into it. The fact that 5%, whether it is the surgery, the shot, the pill, the keto, the protein, they're tools. Women will lose weight on it. Men lose weight on it, whatever they choose. Only 5% keep it off. And the reason is because they don't make the changes inside and how they fuel, feed their body, mind, soul, whole 9 yards. They don't learn how to properly fuel and to take care of themselves and to make those lifestyle changes. And that is so crucial to do, is focus on making those changes so you don't become the 95% that gain it all back, right?
I just got chills again. You just nailed it, literally. Like, I support men and women along with the GLPs because I actually am able to provide that through my business. But, I look at them as tools. And I'll be honest with you, Kaitlyn, I wish I had GLP-1 tool back in the day because I would not have had to have that very drastic surgery. But even if I had the GLP-1s or the surgery, it doesn't matter. You can have you could be the man on the moon. If you're not treating it as a tool and you're expecting to get rich quick, lose weight overnight, and still eat the way you eat or don't eat, and still abuse your body nutritionally, and maybe even with your exercise regime, if you still do that, then you're not going to have lasting success. And, wouldn't it be nice to have lasting change to where you can continually go up the level of your health and wellness journey and not just be stuck at one level?
I love that. And I love that in your business, because you help with weight loss journeys. And if that includes the GLP-1s, you can help out with that. But you don't say, here you go dose yourself, go lose the weight. I'm here if you have any questions. If I recall our conversation we had in person not too long ago, you told me that you actually won't prescribe the medication unless they're willing to make the lifestyle changes that it takes. Like, you actually lay them out and say hey, this is how you need to feel your body. This is how you need to be eating. This is what it looks like to make sustainable change, rather than just saying, here you go, you're on your own. Here's the shot.
Yes, exactly. If you're not in the right space, and it's okay if you're not. So don't feel bad if you're not ready yet. And that's okay. Seriously, we're all on this journey together. And there's different levels as we go along. But if you are expecting the GLP-1, the surgery, and whatever it is to do the work for you, it's not going to last. And you're going to lose resources, your health, financial, whatever it is. And if you're not ready, and I'm picking up on that, I'm going to suggest other things to do until you're ready to do those tools. If you're just so busy and you're not carving out the time each day for yourself to do a 10-minute gratitude walk, to, carefully plan your meals. If you're, not wanting to, look at what supplements you're taking, and checking out what LadyBoss has to offer as well. And, you're just so I just want to do this, and it's just annoying me. If you're not able to schedule the time in, and it could be as little as 30 minutes a day to prep yourself and be ready, then maybe we should wait until you are ready. Cause I'd hate for you to, use resources and waste your time.
Yep. No, so you can make it sustainable, so you can actually make healthy changes. That's one thing. So for me, in the drastic, I think a lot of women, January 1st, were like, all right, January 1st, holidays are over. We're going to kick off the new year, new you. I'm going to lose all the weight this year, hit the gym. The gyms are the busiest January, February, March of the year, right? And with that, I lost my points. Hold on. I'm going to come back to it. This is real life. We get caught in I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it now. And for me, I would start every January. I'm going to kill the gym. I'm going to do all the things. And Girl Scout cookie season. Does anyone here know when Girl Scout cookie season is? It's the beginning of the year. And I deprived myself so many years in a row. I think there was 4 or 5 that I remember in a row that I didn't touch a Girl Scout cookie. I love those suckers. A Thin Mint has my heart.
And the girls are so cute selling them. It's hard to say no to them.
Yes, this is my heart. But I didn't for 4 or 5 years straight because I was on my health journey. So I deprived myself of something that I really like. It brings me joy. And I love where I'm at in my journey now because Girl Scout cookie season rolls around and I have them every year. Now, do I sit there and eat an entire row of cookies? 9 times out of 10, no. Let's be real, okay? I'm human. But I've learned habits where I can have the foods I love without restricting myself for the rest of my life. Now, on the flip side, if I went into the plan of like, okay, I'm never eating a Girl Scout cookie again for the next 2 years. I'm not going to eat pizza, pasta, starch, carb, whatever for a year straight. But once I hit that goal, I'm going to binge. I can't wait to have the cheeseburger and the 5 packs of Thin Mints. That's the wrong thought process, right? I think so many times we're like, okay, that number on the scale hits, I'm going to be more confident. The skies are going to open up. I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want without repercussion. That's not right, is it?
This is so funny, Kaitlyn, that you're saying this because yesterday I recorded a video and posted it all about this, about how you shouldn't feel guilt or shame when you want to enjoy a treat. I was in a client session yesterday and she was saying how she had messed up over the weekend and she had indulged. And I just reminded her, I'm like, you didn't mess up. We're talking today, Monday, and, you had fun over the weekend. I go, next time, I want you to think, I'm going to this event. There's going to be chocolate cake. There's going to be yummy appetizers that I love. There may be a glass of wine that you want to enjoy. Go into it like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to feel shame or guilt or try to hide it or sneak it or don't want Sally Sue across the hallway to see me drinking it or eating it because she knows that I'm on a journey. No, you want to enjoy that, savor it. And it's funny, Kaitlyn, how instead of eating 3 of them, you may only eat half because it's like you're allowing yourself to do it. So it really isn't that good. It's kind of funny how when you like deprive, you want to eat.
But when you let
I just posted a video yesterday talking about it, and it's amazing the response I'm getting. People are resounding with it, saying, "Oh yeah, yeah." But once you give yourself grace that yes, you can have that piece of cake at the birthday party and enjoy it and don't feel guilty about it, then the next meal you're gonna be like, I'm actually not hungry. I feel kind of sick. Maybe I'll just have like a chicken breast because I feel kind of sick from all the extra sugar that I'm not used to eating.
And it becomes easier as you learn to feel your body to make healthier choices. In fact, like for me, pasta. I love pasta. And I still eat pasta this day. But I found an alternative. I have chickpea pasta anytime we eat pasta. I don't taste
good.
My family doesn't taste the difference. It's high in protein. It cuts out all the crud that's in regular pasta. But I still have pasta. It's the same in my mind, but it's not. It's better for my body, right? And so I get to pick and choose. I might have the Thin Mint, but instead of white bleach starch pasta, I'm going to have chickpea pasta. Still tastes just as good, so I'm not depriving myself, right?
100%. And this is the key. Ladies and gentlemen, what Kaitlyn just said is the key to all that we're talking about. It's having balance.
Yes. The balance, and that's what keeps it sustainable. I think we talked a little bit about my journey, but in 2019, I lost 65 pounds and using LadyBoss as a customer, well, I gained all that back because I was doing it on extremes. I was gym twice a day, 100% clean eating. I definitely did not have my Girl Scout cookies that year. And as a mom, a wife, busy 40 plus hours a week, like it's not sustainable. I don't want to live in the gym. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my husband. So that wasn't sustainable at all. And in my mind, well, once I lose the weight, life can go back to normal. And what happened when it did? I gained back every last pound. And so when I had to evaluate how I gained it all back, it was really eye-opening to be like, well, no. In 2019, I didn't realize the importance of protein. I keep pointing like I've got a bag up there. I do. I didn't realize the importance of protein. I was just using it as a meal replacement and eating clean and all the things. I didn't understand it, the nutritional piece. And this time around, I was like, oh, if I focus on fueling my body and really locking in my nutrition, getting my water in, I go everywhere with this baby, getting my water in, getting my protein in. Yes, cheers. moving my body. Like I've barely set foot in the gym in the last couple years, but I focus on going for walks and playing with my kids and being active. And again, hitting my water, hitting my protein, and like the weight just fell off without depriving, without having, I wouldn't say it fell off. It was not always easy. Okay. Okay, ladies. But I would plateau during and I'm now down 75, 80 pounds, and I would plateau and it would stink. And every time I'd be able to connect it. Was I getting my water? Was I getting my protein? Have I been moving my body? I was listening to what I needed inside. And so same with that crazy number. I get that crazy number that's like, oh no.
Yeah.
I need to, what is it? I've been slack and I definitely haven't got my protein in lately. Like, okay, well, let's kick it up. Let's get it back in check.
So, Kaitlyn, I love that you're sharing your story too with me, and you've shared it with me before, and I just love your story as well because you're a busy wife, mom, and a business owner, you're doing all the things. But you with your busy schedule, and what works is you don't have to like make a big ordeal about working out, where you spend 20 minutes putting on the perfect outfit, you make sure that your hair is perfect, you get in your car, you drive, you work out, you talk to people, and then you drive all the way back. By this 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You literally can get out of bed before your family does, have your clothes sitting there, pop them on, and go for a 15-minute gratitude walk.
You want to hear it? I do those sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I'll get my clothes on, go for the walk, whatever. My favorite though, I will be in like my morning moo-moo. I kid you not. I will pull it out. There's cows on my moo-moo, okay? And I'm brushing my teeth squatting. Or I'm doing 20 push-ups real quick. Or I've got a weight bench that chills in my living room. Like, it's not this big a workout. Like I'm legit in my moo-moo.
Yes.
But I'm
True story. True story. This morning, I had a super busy day today, and I knew I had like maybe 15, 20 minutes. I just put on what I had, which wasn't cute, and I hit it. And check, got that done. But the first thing I always do is make my bed. I know it sounds silly, but if we do positive things, small things all the time, they add up. And like you said, doing squats, brushing your teeth, you can even do wall push-ups, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You can do sit-ups while your kid is reading their homework to you or whatever. There's things you can do. It doesn't have to be a big drawn out thing. Those little bits of time throughout the day add up.
Yes. No, it really does. And for me, I work from home. I sit in this chair a lot. This chair sees a lot of me, more than my family probably does. Okay. And so I have to really be intentional with moving my body because when everyone's like, I get 10,000 steps in a day, I definitely do not. But I've got to be moving my body somehow, right? I know this is my lifestyle. I know this is where I'm at. Am I going to go walk for 2 hours to hit my 10,000 after this? No. But I'm going to maybe stand up and squat every hour for 5 minutes or do some push-ups. Or I love my new thing is my vibration plate. For the record, I am not saying a vibration plate is going to help you lose weight, ladies. It is not one of those magic tools. It is one of those magic tools they're trying to sell you on Amazon for like $50. It's not how it works, but it's great for inflammation. I'm just saying, I do love it for inflammation and even flexibility. Like I'll go stand on that and I'll lift some weights while I'm on it. And so I'm like, I'm able to multitask. There's just so many things out there where it's like, you just have to be intentional and aware. I did not meal plan. I don't call it, you're going to love this, Patsy. I don't meal plan. I don't count calories. That's all too complicated for me. It's got to be simple and lazy. So I count protein. I keep track of my protein intake and I meal plan. So in my kitchen at all times, I have 3 to 4 high protein meals that I can throw together in 10, 15 minutes.
Love that.
Like I'm not a meal prepper. I'm not going to do it. I don't even sit down and like do a grocery week. Like I literally will walk into my kitchen probably 4 hours from now because I have no idea what's for dinner and be like, what's for dinner? That needs to be healthy and high in protein. And I've got 3 to 4 options always on hand that I can snag and go. And I've hit my goals. It's all about keeping it simple.
That's beautiful. I love that. And that's part of the releasing, learning these tips and tricks that, do make a big difference. It may sound silly to some people, but it does make a difference and they do add up. And giving yourself grace, you're like, I'm not a meal prepper, but I'm a meal planner. Well, that's all you need. Our journeys are all different. Our lives are all different. And we're not, the Stepford Wives walking. We all have, what works for us. And what's so fun, Kaitlyn, is that you've created a platform where we can share what works and then other people can take or leave what works for them. And that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like you said, like you're a bed maker. I am not a bed maker. I love for my bed to be made, but that takes too much time. I'm busy.
Yeah,
I'm happy if
that's
I
okay.
brush my teeth and get my squats in and all that before I sit down at my desk for the day. I'm horrible, ladies. I know boundaries, but it's all in who we are, and it's okay to own it. It's okay that I don't spend the time to make my bed, and it's okay that Patsy does. But, and I say all this because when you're starting off, you might need a more structured plan. You need a me or a Patsy or a LadyBoss community that can support you and help you along the way. Because you can't do this alone. It is not an easy journey. Your family's going to not understand why on earth they're eating chicken for the third day in a row. I'm not saying you actually have to do that, but your family aren't always your biggest supporters when it comes to weight loss. They're not the ones that are wanting to lose it. You are. They don't have the same why you have, right? And so surrounding yourself with people that can help guide you and help keep you accountable and help give you tools and resources. And like how she makes the bed and I don't make the bed, you have that plan of, okay, Patsy's going to look at me and be like, Kaitlyn, I need you to make your bed every day for the next 21 days. And while you're making your bed, you're going to squat the entire time you do it because you're building those habits. And Patsy's laying that plan out for me. Does that mean I have to actually make my bed to do the squats? No. Instead, I can develop it with my brushing my teeth. I can be squatting while I brush my teeth or pick out my outfit, connecting it to a habit we do every single day, right?
Yep. 100%. That's so true. These little things that we're talking about do add up. And, for me, it's been almost 30 years that I have released this weight and I'm healthier than I've ever been. And I'm 55 years old. Like I don't see myself I'm 55. So in my 20s, being 55 didn't look very bright. I mean, I could have already passed by now with a heart attack. So little things add up. And it's, like I said, it's been 30 years for me, almost 30 years. So a lot of little things that I've done along the way. Yes, I've had rough years. Yes, I've weighed more than I should. Yes, I've gone back to food to self-soothe. I'll always have that there. But, I've just learned what to do instead of. And, I've just made that commitment to myself. But I've given myself grace. I'm not a robot. I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. And so are you.
I love that.
And so it's like just all those little things have added up for me. And, what I want to do today, Kaitlyn, is just, inspire other people. I want to give you hope and it's okay. It's going to be okay. And it's not about losing weight. It's about releasing the things that are holding you back from your health and your wellness and knowing that you are worth it. You are worthy and it's okay.
Yes, it is okay. Oh, I love it. I've got goosebumps. Ladies, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Like, it doesn't matter what tool you choose. Every bit is a tool. It doesn't matter what others' judgments are. It's about what's right for you, but none of it, LadyBoss Lean, Keto, Weight Watchers, all the things, none of those tools are right for you if you're not ready to work even deeper. Because when you hit that number on the scale, the skies don't open up unless you do. You have to learn you. You have to learn to love you as you are now. I had the pleasure of meeting Patsy in person a couple weeks back. And ladies, she told you she's 4'11". She is definitely 4'11". I am 5'9". Every day of the event, I wore heels. So I was probably 5'11", if not 6 foot. See, also rocked her heels every day. So at 4'11", she was probably like 5'3". But ladies, I tell you what, when she walked into a room, she wasn't putting off 5'3" energy. She was putting off 6'11" energy. Like she just radiates every ounce of her and pours into others. And even like the little conversations, because we were together for like 3-4 days. There's always so much goodness and so much joy coming off her. I could hear conversations walking by and I'm like, oh, I like her. I need to know her. I need her on this podcast. And it's because she loves herself. I met with someone earlier today who was like, I just read about your story. And like, I never would have imagined it with how you hold yourself and how you're so happy. And I think, Patsy, you and I can relate. Like, it's because we're not living for others. We're living for us, right? We've done the work. We've done the hard work. We've not beat out imposter syndrome. It's always still there, but we're louder. Our positive Betty is much louder than our negative Nancy. And we get to show up and live amazing lives because we love who we are on the inside. Right?
Thank you for that, Kaitlyn. We are soul sisters. It was meant for us to meet. We keep talking about how the skies part, the angels sing, the confetti goes flying, and all that stuff. You know what? For me, that's been happening now, and a little bit each day. A little bit each day, the skies get a little bit more brighter. Every day, things are happening a little bit more. And so, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling that the skies will never part for you and you will never be a Patsy or Kaitlyn, these years later, it's there for you and it's never too late. Even if you just get up and drink a glass of water and put some lipstick on and look at yourself in the mirror and smile. If you just do tiny little thing today, you're on your way. You're so on your way.
For the record, ladies, I have questions that I was going to ask her along the way if I needed them, but I love our conversations to flow like this. And I say all this to say, I'm looking at questions that maybe I missed. And I'm like, she's literally she's just giving you all the things because she's already answered them all. She's just pouring into you, ladies. And I love it so much. So, so much. For what's one thing, for that woman who just can't see the light in herself yet, that's just really so connected to the number on the scale. What do you have to tell her or wish she would stop believing about herself?
So I'm very intuitive. And before we came on today, I prayed, God, give me the words to say that people need to hear that are in your audience. And what I'm going to say isn't me. It was what was laid on my heart to answer to your question. And the answer for that is to do something nice for somebody else. If you even, you're walking down the street, smile at somebody, your husband's having a bad day or whatever it is, do something kind for somebody else. And that was the answer that I was given to say to you.
Ladies, if you feel called out right now, that was meant for you. And I know firsthand when you share that light that's inside of you with others, your light for yourself only grows. That warm fire. I know what I'm talking about. When you do something kind, it's not like you're looking to have your horn tooted by others or whatnot. But you inside just feels so good, right? Your compassion grows.
I would do that every chance you get, do something kind for somebody else. Hold the door open, pick up something that somebody drops, smile, buy someone their coffee if you can, and then, that will grow. And before long, you're going to be feeling that love that you're giving to other people. You're going to be feeling that love giving to yourself. And when that happens, you're going to start realizing that you do deserve happiness and joy and good health. You are worthy. And one more thing that I feel led to say, Kaitlyn, if you don't mind.
Right.
If you make the choice not to do this, not to take these baby steps, not to love other people so you can love yourself, you're taking the gift that you have to give away from others. So, if you don't do it for yourself, do it for others, because you're taking away the gift and joy and love that you have to give to other people by not growing in your health and wellness journey so that you can share. Hope that makes sense.
No, it does. I'm going to actually connect it to a story if you don't mind, Patsy. So
Please.
I was at Sam's Club getting fuel 2 weeks ago. And I don't know if you've ever I love getting fuel at Sam's Club because it's on sale. But the app, you have to scan and then link your card. And not 9 times out of 10, but sometimes it's locked me out of the app and then it needs the code verification on the card. I don't have the card with me. It's a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I've left without getting fuel. Well, I'm getting fuel. All of my stuff's working, thank goodness. And there's an older gal in front of me and the attendant's trying to help her. The card's not scanning, the app isn't working. I have an SUV. It takes 16 gallons. These are slow pumps. I pulled up, I saw the situation. I swiped my card. I filled my tank, sat in my car, diddled on my phone, put the gas back. And I looked up and she was still there sitting in her car trying to figure it out. I was like, oh man, I know how that feels. That sucks. I was like, I should go pay for her fuel. And I almost didn't. I was like, money's a little tight right now. maybe I shouldn't. And I had to ask myself, one, I'm about to walk into Sam's Club and spend way more than $30 it's going to take to fill her car. And two, how am I going to feel if I drive away right now without making this gesture? Not because I need the attention. I don't need the attention at all. But if I see that she's in need and I choose to walk away because of the doubts I have or whatever else, how am I going to feel? And I knew right then and there. I was like, I don't want to be that person. I can sacrifice going out to dinner or the 12 pack of drinks my kids might want for sports, $30 to fill her car. I scanned it while she was in her car trying to figure it out, and I walked away before she even knew what happened. The attendant let her know, filled up and left. It wasn't for my acknowledgement, but I knew, one, she needed it, and two, I didn't want to live with that guilt of I should have done better when I know that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to share that love, whether it's a tank of gas or a coffee or picking up the stack of books someone just dropped. And so I love that that's what you're leaving us with today, Patsy, because it is a true reminder. Like, think about
Thinking of,
emotion.
and I'm just thinking about that lady, that woman, and she could have not had any gas to go to the other gas station. She could have, had a sick husband at home, or maybe she just spent all she had was $20 left, and now she can go buy groceries. I mean, you don't know what someone's going through. So the fact that you felt led and called to do that and you followed that's going to create an effect on her, and it's just a domino effect. So thank you for sharing that.
I don't say it to do my own horn. I just want to say that for the audience. So think about it. If you walk past someone that just dropped all their stuff and rolled your eyes and kept walking, how are you going to feel? Because you didn't stop and help them and be a human. Treat another human with the respect they deserve, that you deserve. Just help them out real quick. It takes a moment. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to just be kind and to be human.
Thank you for that.
Patsy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this episode today. Thank you for talking about the tools. And I really, really, really wanted to have this conversation because there is so much negativity around the types of tools, and some more so than others, where there shouldn't be the negativity at all, because none of them are easy. They all require hard work and change. There is no magic pill. And there's so much more that goes into this transformation journey than the number on the scale. And I thank you so much for sharing it and your honesty and your heart. Like, you are truly living proof that transformation is rooted in grace and forgiveness and kindness to yourself.
And a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's baby steps toward the direction. One thing I want to share real quick is, like, you have a needle, right? Every day you have a needle. And depending on what actions you do every day, which way is that needle going to point towards? Is it going to point towards health and wellness and positivity and loving yourself and others? Or is it going to point to, going the opposite direction of that? So which way do you want your needle to point every day?
And ladies, as you examine that question right there, give yourself reminders of the person you want to be. For me, I've got a note right here that says, it's stuck to my computer screen, where is God calling me to lead today? I leave that on my computer every day. Like, where is he calling me to live in his purpose and to do his work? And then on the tough days, I've got this one, that the devil couldn't take me out, so he's trying to wear me down.
I love that. Great reminders.
Yes. I'm like, lean into those. When you're trying to figure out which way you're going to let that needle point, you're in control. You've got that power.
That's right. Amen.
All right, ladies, to everyone listening, if you've been searching for hope, this is your sign that it's never, ever too late. You can start again. You can hit your goals, and you do not have to do it again. If this
Kaitlyn, do you mind?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sorry.
No.
Do you mind if I share how they can find me?
Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes. And we're going to link everything in the show notes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I just felt what a great session today. And I'm going to put in my network how people can find you. But definitely, I'm Patsy James, Fit Over 50. You can find me on Instagram. That's the main one. So Patsy James, Fit Over 50. And if you feel led or called, or, want to talk to me a little bit more, I would invite you to drop me a DM, and I'd love to give you a free conversation with me. We can just pick up the phone and have some girl time. And I want to support you.
Thank you. I am so sorry. That's like one of those things that I'm working on getting better at. We'll make sure we put all that in the show notes. If this episode inspired you, ladies, like reach out to Patsy, reach out to me, send us a DM. We'd love to know it. We're here to support you and love you along your journey. And then, of course, always share this episode with a friend that might need this reminder that grace and change can coexist. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, go follow me, go follow Patsy, and follow along on this journey of living unapologetic lives. We will talk to you next time.
I'm showing up as the woman I was created to be. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be real. One woman's courage gives another permission. I'm done waiting for someday. My time is now. I'm walking in faith, not fear. God's plan for me is bigger than my fear. No more hiding who I am. This is the real me, and I'm not apologizing for her.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unapologetic Podcast. If today's episode fired you up, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new one. And hey, leave a quick review, or sharing this with a friend helps us reach more women who need this message. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and keep living unapologetically.